Well, hi everyone. Thanks for showing up for your learning. Let's take a look at our practice quiz for today. First, we have a fraction multiplication question. So in this fraction question, it really helps if you can express 34 as 2 times 17. You can do that, or you can just notice that 68 is 2 times 34. And 27 as 3 times 3 times 3, otherwise known as 3 cubed. 9 is 3 squared, so I'm going to write that on top as 3 times 3. And on the bottom, 68, that's 4. Well, let's do 2 times 2 times 17. Write it that way. You get to fully factor it. All right, and you can get those from factor trees. Watch, 68. Do it in the margins. Divide by 2, 34. Maybe you stop there because you're like, oh, that's going to cancel. Leave a 2 on the bottom. 2 divides by 2, leave 17. 17 is prime. Done. So now we can go ahead and cancel. This 2 cancels that 2. This 17 cancels that 17. These 2 3's cancel those 2 3's. And we're left with 1 over 3 times 2. This is 1/6. Do it that way, you can do them in your head. This one here. So we flip and multiply. This is 18 over 35 multiplied by 25 over 42. And then let's work horizontally a bit to avoid my face. We will break those down into their factors. 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. 35 is 5 times 7. 25 is 5 times 5. And 42 is 2 times 3 times 7. Okay, here's a 2 and a 3 that can cancel that, 2 and a 3. Here is a 5 that can cancel that, 5. And then we're left with 3 times 7 on top, which is 15. And 7 times 7 on bottom, which is 49. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, over here, a fraction addition question. Well, these are a little tricky because we want to create a common denominator. One option would be to multiply here top and bottom by 12, but I don't want to do that because there's an easier way. My lowest common multiple here would just be adding a single factor 2 to that one and going up to 24. So that's going to be 3 over here and 3. And I can get this from factor trees as well, like this. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. So the 12 here, it says, you've got 3 factors 2. I want an extra factor 2. And the 8 says, yeah, but you've got a factor 3 that I'm jealous of. I want a factor 3. And you use the strategy of the jealous toddlers to create your common denominator. That's high-level stuff. So we're going to multiply there 2 and 2 because that's what the 12 needs. So that will give us 3 times 3 over here is 9 over 24 plus 18. Oh, 14, my goodness, over 24. This is equal to 23, because 9 plus 14 is 23, 24ths. So very nearly 1, but not quite 1. Did I forget the most important or fun step is to start with a guess. A little bit less than half plus a little bit more than half, an answer really close to 1 would be a good guess. That, my dear friends, is very close to 1. All right, with this problem over here, subtracting mixed numbers. Let's turn them into improper fractions because that's much better. Oh, and it's still the 12s and the 8s on the bottom. I could have given you practice with different denominators, couldn't I have? All right, anyhow, over here, 1 times 12 plus 5, that's 17 over 12, minus 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19 eighths. The way I convert those is I do 1 times the denominator plus the numerator all over the denominator. Is like, this 1 is 12 twelfths, so there's my 12 twelfths, and then I add these 5 twelfths, there's my 5 twelfths, altogether 17 twelfths. All right, same thing with the 2. 2 times the 8 is 16, plus 3, 19. All right, now create our common denominator, same fractions, we multiply top and bottom, same factors we're adding in, actually. This is 34 over 24 minus 3 times 19, that's 57 over 24. 34 minus 57. If you've got a 34-degree day and it gets 57 degrees colder, Whoa, that's a big temperature change. You're going from like a hot beach day to it might freeze over fast. So you would then be minus 23. So this is equal to minus 23 over 24. Okay, because I do 57 minus 34, but the answer is negative. Yeah. So it's the opposite of that one. Very similar question. Cool. Now, here's a question for all you Swifties out there. The ratio of Taylor Swift fans to non-fans at CCI is about 5 to 8. So let's see. If you had 260 students in the gym, how many would be Taylor Swift fans? All right. So here, it helps to do a part to a whole ratio instead of a part to a part. So like 5 fans to 8 non-fans could actually be changed to 5 fans to 13 people in total. And this ratio is going to help us here. Okay, so 260 is the total number of people. So we're looking to scale this up to like how many fans? I don't know, call it X. And there's 260 people. All right. So what we could do is find out what percentage of one person is a fan and then multiply by 260. Is one weird way of doing it. Or if you notice that we can multiply this here, 5 to 13 would be the same thing, same ratio as 10 to 26, would be the same ratio as 100 to 260. And there's our answer. So I just scale that up by multiply by 2, and then I scale this up by multiply by 10, or just multiply by 20 to get the answer here. X is 100, and so there are about 100 Swifties. Do I have to capitalize Swifties? In the gym. Okay. So if you're in class and the teacher says, Taylor Swift fans, please put both hands in the air. Okay. Maybe I should have said like the teacher or someone plays one of her songs and every Taylor Swift fan puts up both hands in the air. And you count 20 arms in the air. All right. So everyone has 2 arms. So that would be 10 people, 10 fans. And if there's 10 fans, I would expect there to be 8 times 2, or 16 non-fans. So how many people are in my class? 26 people are in my class in total. Now, Wong Hao is very busy. He's making cookies for his friends, or at least for 9 people. Who knows? Now, Wong Hao, oh wait, no, he wants to serve 15 people cookies, but his recipe serves 9 people. So how much of in each ingredient should he use? Okay, so here's one strategy. I could do 500 milliliters of flour divided by the 9 people that normally serves and find out how much flour per person. 55.5 repeating milliliters. Okay, and I'll do the same thing with sugar. 200 divided by 9 equals 22.2 repeating. Oh, very interesting. And then 3 scoops divided by 9. So that's 1/3 scoop per person. So these numbers, this is the sugar, this is the flour, and then 1/3 scoop of chocolate chips per serving. All right. These numbers here give us the amount that one person needs. So I can just multiply those all by 15. So 55.5 repeating times 15. Let's just do that. 15.5555555. Lots of 5s gives us enough accuracy. Put in a 6 there for slightly more accuracy. Times 15 gives us 233 1/3. Love it. 233. What did I do? Oh, I did 15. Yeah, I did the wrong number. 5. Oops, clear. 55.5555555. I just made a calculator error. And let me tell you how I caught my calculator error, because you want to be doing these things too. I started with a guess. I saw the recipe normally serves 9 people. We want to serve 15 people. And the recipe initially uses 500. I got a number back that was less than that. So that can't be right. So when I did the redo, I have 833. That looks good. So 833 milliliters of flour. That's flour. And let's do this one. 22.2222222 times 15 gives us 333.3 milliliters sugar. I can round that down. Gosh, I'd probably be using 330. I wouldn't be using 333. 330 and a bit. All right. And then 1 scoop times the third scoop times 9. That's going to be 1/3 times 9 equals 3. So 3 scoops. Wait, I just recreated that, didn't I? I should need 5 scoops. See, it's very good to start with guesses, because times 15 will give me 5. 5 scoops are needed. And then I'll have a sentence. Oh my goodness, we're so popular in this office. Okay, the call was for me, so let's keep going. So that's how much of each ingredient he should be using. Okay, and then I'll have a sentence there. So let's see. We will say Wang Hao should use 833 milliliters of flour, 333 milliliters of sugar, and 5 scoops of chocolate chips. Cool. All right. Now, supposing he only has 8 scoops of chocolate chips left, and he wants to use them up, how much of each other ingredient should he use to balance his recipe? All right. So normally it's 3 scoops. We're going to have a bigger recipe. So what I would do is say the size of this recipe will be 8 divided by 3. Notice that number is bigger than 1. And if I take that number, which is a ratio of how much we usually use, and multiply it by how much we have, divide how much we have by how much we usually use, it'll tell us how many times we can be doing this recipe. In other words, 2 2/3 times. So I take that number and I'll multiply it by 500 milliliters. So 500 times 8 divided by 3 equals 1,333. That much flour. So a little more than like a liter of flour. And then this number, 8/3 times 200, is going to give us 533. Oh, that's interesting. 533 milliliters of sugar. And those are the amounts that he should be using to balance the amounts of chocolate chips. There's other ways to find those numbers, but those are the numbers you're looking for. And that's how I would do it. All right, let's keep going. All right, 5 friends eating pizza. They all eat different amounts. How many pizzas did they order, and how much of each type is left over? Because we got some people at home that are excited about some doggy bags, I guess, and they want to know what they're going to get. All right, so let's see. Let's add up our cheese pizzas. So we have 1/6 is what Imogen eats. So this is, I'm just going to do cheese and veggie separate. All right, Grishma eats 1/4. Bruce eats 1/2. And Joey and Arash both eat 2/3. So I could write this as 2/3 plus 2/3. And let's do that. Okay. Here I can see that all of these numbers can go to a common denominator 12. That's one way to do it. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So to get to 12, this one needs to multiply top and bottom by 2. This one needs to multiply top and bottom by 3. This one needs to multiply top and bottom by 6. And this one needs to multiply top and bottom by 4. Okay, so now I have 2/12 is what Imogen eats. 3/12 is what Grishma eats. 6/12 is what Bruce eats. And Joey and Arash each eat 8/12. My goodness. Since those are all over 12, the answer is over 12. And as 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 6 is 11, plus 8 is 19, plus 8 is 27. 27/12 of pizza, of cheese pizza. So let's see. That's more than 2, so that's 2 and 3/12, which is equal to 2 and 1/4. Okay, so they ordered 3 cheese pizzas and 3/4 of one are left over. And there's a slightly slicker way that we could do this in the next one. Slightly slicker, I say, and I like slightly slicker. So let's go. Let's add up the veggie pizzas. Okay. Imogen eats 3/8 of a veggie pizza. So we're going to say that's 3/8 plus 2/3 plus 1/2 is what Bruce eats. And since Joey and Arash each eat the same amount, we'll just do plus 2 multiplied by 7/8. That'll just give me one fraction there instead of 2 that I have to add together. Move my face. There. All right, let's go. So I look at these numbers and I see, I actually need to go to 24 for common denominator here. These were cut into more slices or something. So let's go. This one I can multiply top and bottom by 3. This one I can multiply top and bottom by 8. This one I can multiply top and bottom by 12. And this one is going to be 14 over 8, but I'm going to multiply that by 3 over 3 to make the denominator the same. So that's equal to 9/24 plus 16/24. I can all write this over the common denominator here. You want it slightly slicker? Let's go slightly slicker, all right? Slightly slicker is not to start your work and then redo it, but I'm going to show you a better way. 9 plus 16, I'm just doing these numbers here. 9, 8 times 2 is 16, 12 times 1 is 12, and 2 times 7 times 3 is 42. All over 24. All right, that's fine. And that will equal 9 plus 16 is 25, plus 12 is 37, plus 42 is 79. 79/24. Okay, so 79/24 is all right. Looks good to me. Yes, it's good. It's correct. So now we check it and we'd say, well, that's a little more than 3. It's a little more than 3 pizzas because 3 times 24 would give you 72 hours. That's 3 days is 72 hours. Okay, and so then we would be left with, this is equal to 3 full pizzas and 7/24. Well, 7/24 doesn't reduce. So they ordered 4 veg pizzas and have, well, 24 minus 7 gives you 17. They have 17/24 of pizza left over. Amazing. And if you have any questions about that, send me an email. Otherwise, see you tomorrow for the quiz. Bye for now, everyone.